one with blue M&Ms and one with only red Starburst. So we're
Lamborghini Diablo I have ever seen. Really trying to prove, probably to yourself, if you have enough money to have a Lamborghini, is my general impression of Scissor-Doors.
Okay, I'm mixing together my jobs today because I'm sick of not getting any content out. I spend too much time editing and putting things together, and I don't release anything during the day. But the good news is I'll have a whole bunch of stuff to release when I finally do it. In fact, I've got stuff recorded from months ago that I haven't put out yet. So today, I found some stuff on the internet that I think is interesting as hell, and I think it's funny. Also, other than that, I'm going to show you H3H3 Productions, and I'm really kind of like mad, honestly. I don't get mad about things too much, but I'm mad about this. I've been a viewer of H3 since they were like smaller. You know, I don't know if they were like under 1 million, but it was somewhere around there. It was like during the whole like, you know, vaping phase and, you know, all that good stuff. The funny Ethan stuff. Since before 2015, I would think, or 2016, or at least maybe around there. And I'm really shocked at what I've seen Ethan Klein put out. When people first started going at Ethan, you know, I was a little on the fence. I didn't want to just jump on the bandwagon because that's how I am. Most of you know this by now. I don't like to inflame cancel culture. I try to work against it. So I thought I'd wait and see how things worked out with the Ethan Klein situation. We've talked about it before, but honestly, it's gotten so bad in the last couple months. And I'm finally just done. I'm finally through. I'm not defending Ethan Klein. I wasn't defending Ethan Klein. Though now I'm going to have to literally criticize him, attack him, whatever the hell people want to call it. I don't care anymore. I'm doing it. It is so crazy what he's doing. And really, what this does, it's not that Ethan is trying to put out like a counter thought process to someone else. He's literally trying to cancel multiple people at once. He wants the people that he disagrees with to not hold an opinion. It's not that they hold an opposing opinion that he gets to come in here and fight against or argue against or something. He literally thinks he's going to shut them down. He wants to rage people out against it. He doesn't want to criticize. He doesn't want to have a dialogue. He just wants to shut it down and be done. And I know some of you are going to say, no shit, Uni, he's been doing that a while. I know he's been doing that a while. I just didn't know that it had gotten this bad. So on this, like, hold on, I'm going to get my billboard. I usually don't get my billboard out for an intro to the show, an introduction, but I'm going to because I think this is kind of important, honestly. But most of the time, when somebody starts to go down that trend from where they fight. Now, Ethan did fight against cancel culture. If you don't know who Ethan is, if you've never seen H3, he used to make videos that would kind of go against, he was counter cancel culture, okay? But when I noticed that he was taking this dive toward cancel culture, so he's counter cancel culture, he starts to take this dive, there was a point where Ethan literally plummeted. So he goes from like kind of dabbling in cancel culture to just like hardcore cancel culture. And it's kind of hard to be able to have a dialogue on a situation that turns out to be cancel culture because so many people are going to come in and they're going to say, no way, that person deserves to be called out. And while I do agree in criticism, it's necessary. It's actually a healthy, literal like 50% of conversation, in my opinion. Because if you don't criticize in some way, you're literally just agreeing with someone all the time. Not only is he engaging in cancel culture to a massive degree, he's even accusing his opponents of surrounding themselves with yes men and using tactics against Ethan that there is zero evidence for. And how do I know this? Because I've been looking for days. I can't find any of this garbage that he says the other side's doing. And on top of that, to even add more to this, more spice to the shit cake, he not only is he accusing people of things they're not doing, but when he shows examples, when Ethan shows literal examples for what he claims people are doing that would give him an excuse to say what he says, those things do not show what he claims they do. And I don't want to get too descriptive right now, which I already have, because then you're going to get confused. But either way, we're going down into the realm of H3H3 Productions, Ethan Klein's Twisted Cancel Culture Mind. From someone who was a fan of Ethan, literally, even when he was fighting with Keemstar, I was cool with Keem, I was cool with Ethan, because there's things about both of them that I thought I liked that they did, right? And I started to think when Ethan was attacking Keemstar, I was like, there are things he's doing that I don't like, but maybe that's just because of this situation. But after that, even, it's gone down further and further and further. Now, you remember when Leafy was banned from YouTube? When, like, over nothing. Like, over nothing. Like, zero. Zip. Zilch. In my opinion, all he did was call Pokimane a 2 out of 10. All he did was make some videos essentially criticizing in a funny way, being a little, like, dunking on Pokimane, right? Oh, irony how you show your face now, because Ethan is defending Pokimane now on a brand new YouTube channel. And also, I noticed that he's got Nikocado Avocado going on his show soon, right? Well, then, and I think this is some kind of setup. I could be a conspiracy theorist in this situation, but I think it's a setup. He's got Nikocado Avocado, another YouTuber, going on his podcast, okay? But then, ironically, Nikocado tells Ethan he wants $15,000 of a first-class flight and all this stuff. Ethan gives him 5 Gs, first-class flight. Then, Nikocado makes a video attacking Ethan's girlfriend. So then Ethan goes to this brand new YouTube channel he just made and defends his wife against Nikocado Avocado. And I'm watching it thinking, this is fake. This is straight fake. You literally invite this dude on your show. You talk to him, and you and him discussed this little fake-ass thing you're doing that you're putting on. Like, I legit, I'm not saying it's true, by the way. I'm not saying that it's true that it's fake. But I legit, the entire time I'm sitting here watching this YouTube video, I'm saying this is a setup. It's a literal setup. So I kind of want to know what you think, those of you that are going to chill with this tonight, because this is definitely not a show. I literally have been just pouring my energy into uploads and then coming here and just chilling with you at night. So if you're going to hang, I ain't going to clickbait you. I'm not going to tell you to watch the show tonight, the live stream, because we're just chilling. Though there's something else going on. So I was told that KJ was talking about me, and then I saw in Discord someone talking about it. But then I talked to the person in Discord who had said this, and they said, no, that was something from like months ago. So I was like, okay. Then, so I don't know if she talked about me or attacked me or not. Maybe it was a little bit of rumors that were swelling around. Maybe my name just got brought up somewhere. I don't know. So I'm asking you that if you do know about her like dunking on me lately, make sure you let me know. Because I don't think she did, but then again, maybe she did. I don't know. But I did hear something about KJ lately. So I haven't searched Without a Crystal Ball or Katie or anything in a while. And I want to do that with you live right now. So let me search Without a Crystal Ball. And let's take a look at how Katie's doing really quick. And before I do that, Trio says, this show is brought to you by Tough Cookie. When you want your opinion to rule over others so they can't have one, well, Tough Cookie. Promo code America. Bald eagle soars with a bullhorn. You always have the best freaking welcome to the show speech every day, Trio. Thanks, man. Okay, so it looks like KJP's just doing her normal thing. Right? This was 3 hours ago? Charlotte's talking about KJ still? Okay, well, maybe we'll check in with Charlotte. I don't know. Let's see here. I mean, now, okay, why am I looking at, you're going to say, Uni, you haven't talked about KJ in a while. Why are you looking at her stuff? It's because I heard this thing. So I told people that KJP was, of course, taking a break from social media because I had seen that KJ was taking a break from social media. Though, somebody told me that she's been going to Instagram and having freakouts. And if that's happening, I kind of want to know. I don't necessarily want to do content on it. Maybe, maybe not. It depends on the content of the freakout. Though, when I went and looked, I couldn't find a single one of her freakouts. So now I'm freaking out, thinking that I'm not finding something that's there. And, you know, so I want you to tell me in the chat, have you seen her on Insta doing anything crazy? Let me see. I just put in a different search. I put without a crystal ball Instagram. Let me do like a this week type of thing. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Part 3, Katie Joy Insta Live 1722. That's like 10 days ago. Part 3. Let's take a listen to this really quick. I just want to know if she's attacking people. Hold on. Let me actually just look really fast. Man, it still seems like people talk about KJ like all the time, huh? Literally, like all the time, man. Like, Jesus. Oh my God. How many videos can you make about Katie right now? She's not doing anything. I understand. Maybe she did do something. Tell me, live chat, what did Katie do? Katie had to have done something. Here, I'm bringing my live chat over here. Katie must have done something recently to get people talking about her because there's people making videos on her every day. So my GWT says she is totally crazy on Insta and then deletes them. So she is going crazy on Insta. I got good info then. I did get good info. See, I was starting to doubt my sources. And I got some good sources, y'all. I was starting to doubt my sources. I got spies. I got secret. Have you heard this? Have you heard about how I have spies and I have secret stuff? Full wolf moon tonight. Things are getting hairy. Dead GPK. I was going to talk about that. Yeah, I was driving home when the sun was setting, okay? And the sun was shining right in my eyes. Couldn't see anything. This wasn't today. This was like yesterday or the day before. I was driving home, and the sun was going down, and I was still driving because I had to drive really far, right? And I look, and where the sun set, the moon was just chilling there. The moon didn't rise. It had been there. I just couldn't see it because of the light from the sun was blinding me. It was almost a full moon. And it looked freaky. I wish I would have took a video or a picture to show you. It looked so freaky. What is a wolf moon? Let me look this up. Because I know there are different types of moons, and the wolf moon of 2022 is going to be visible. Don't miss the wolf moon go up in the sky tonight. This is 2 hours ago by the Communist News Network, CNN. Wolves are associated with howling at the moon. Common myth. It's become widely accepted over the ages. It's not a myth. I've literally seen a wolf howl at the moon. I've seen it with my own eyes. Communist News Network. The first full moon of the year is known as the wolf. The first full moon of the year is known as a wolf moon. Okay, we've identified it. There's a cornucopia of names for the January full moon, says Communist News Network. I don't listen to commies, CNN, so sayonara. Now, supposedly, KJP be going crazy JP on Instagram, and I want to hear one of these Instas. Are you ready? Here we go. Well, I thought I was going to be listening to an Insta. Please do not send hate to anyone mentioned in this video. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. But the video is just Katie talking. These aren't your opinions. It's Katie's opinions. Fair use disclaimer. No, this is not fair use. You cannot take her entire Insta and put it on your YouTube and then call it fair use. Fair use is where you actually, fair use is where you provide commentary and you transform what was originally there into something else through critique or criticism or whatever. But comedy, right? But here it is. Is KJP losing her shit on Insta lately? Well, this is from 10 days ago. And while we take a peek at this, I'm going to see if I can find another Insta of Katie's. Here we go. Let's take a listen.
Really cold here today. And
oh, Dead has a picture of the full moon for us. And here we go. Now, the moon that I saw was a really freaky color. And this little part right here wasn't there. So like you could see the whole circle, but then it cut off like right there. And I knew the full moon was coming tonight. I knew it was the night before a full moon the minute I saw the moon. I must be getting old because I can look at the moon and be like, full moon tomorrow.
it's like negative a million degrees. And for some reason, whenever it's super cold like this, I get really bad like headaches and I get like stuffy noses. So
You know what you should do, KJ? If you want that to go away, do what I do when it's really cold outside. At least when I was, my whole life when it was younger, when it was super cold and it was snowing everywhere, I would shave my face with a razor. Maybe you don't want to do that, but I did. I'm not kidding. You shave your face with a razor and you go outside and go hiking or running or jogging or something. You put yourself out there in that cold weather and you assault yourself with it. And it really adjusts you to the cold. In fact, now I love the cold. And now my face doesn't get cold anymore because I got a beard.
I have a little bit of the winter crud right now and I'm kind of tired.
Lauren says, somebody is straight uploading KJ's content now and calling it theirs. What a surprise. Well, I don't know if that's what they did, but the heck is that? Mary is who she talked about. So I guess they're adding tiny little text boxes in. But I'm sorry to say, this is a 40-minute video. If Katie did file fair use on this, just to get you guys a little education on fair use. If Katie filed fair use copyright on this, a claim, if she struck it, it would go through. It would be a valid strike because this is just her content. See what I'm doing right here where she says something and I'm reacting to it? That would be fair use. Good lordy. Hold on a minute. Harley's going crazy. Let me see what's up. Harley, chill! Chill, Harles! I'm getting old. Just hurt my knee. I got a Red Bull. Isn't that nice? That was nice. My mother dropped me a Red Bull by for no reason. Isn't that nice? You see? When you're nice to people, they're nice to you. Anyway, let's get back to it. I wish I had more time to hang out and talk to her, but I didn't. I was streaming, so she left. That sucks. Okay, here we go.
All week because it's been so cold. So there is so much to talk about today. My eyebrows are beautiful. Well,
Is this going to be a freak out? Should I skip ahead? Because, I mean, I want to... Obviously, since this was the only Instagram there, I assume this is the freak out. You get me? I am very spoiled. I am. I wish he could have hung out and said hi to you guys.
stuff, you know, he treated my sister for some things. So then now that girl is worried, did he do something to my sister? Right? He had access to lots and lots of children.
Oh, okay. So she's telling another one of those stories. Maybe this is why people were talking about
There's
it.
no way they didn't know. There's absolutely no way. There's no way. I'm turning comments off. I don't want to have had...
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Now I get it. Now I get it.
To hold on
I
to
get
horrible things for a really long time. And with Josh's verdict, there's just so much more coming out. And, you know, one of the things that I think is just really horrible about this whole situation is that...
a bunch of people uploaded this one. Yeah, there's at least 3 that I just found that uploaded this one. This is part 3. But I'm not talking about part 1 and 2. I'm talking about 3 other people uploaded this, so something happens in this stuff.
TLC knew. There's no way they didn't know. There's absolutely no way. There's no way. I'm turning comments off. I don't want to hear about the distractions. I'm going to say this again. Sorry about that. I'm going to say this again.
Okay, hold up. This one says Katie's deleted live stream. It's someone talking named Janet being Janet.
Tracy, you think the comments are getting crazy? In early 10, a lot of people told me that KJ used to be different before her channel grew. A lot of people have told me that.
I think that's normal for everybody.
So I believe...
I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I just think that's normal.
I really believe that. They better treat my girl.
Oh, man, I hadn't had a Red Bull today. That's... tastes weird.
Baby doll. Oh,
Why are my tastes all... My taste buds are all messed up?
oh, Becky. No, we got... If done respectfully, is it bashing the person? How KJ does it is bashing the Duggars and Lincoln Paper and anyone.
We are not downing home birth, people, and it really agitates.
Oh, wait, we've got a little bit of a deleted Insta right here. Okay, let's hear some of this deleted Insta.
Hey guys, my StreamYard is being just a little.
That the schools are there to poison children,
Yeah, she's
and that
talking about
nobody
those doctors.
can actually
Oh my God! I clicked on a really bad clip.
teach a child better than the Bible and the parents. He tells people not to trust doctors that believe in birth control. He even says that...
Well, come on, that's their religious belief, though, right? Have you ever heard him out on why? Maybe, like, give us a why. Debunk him. Go in and debunk that doctor.
Women
She
that
said,
don't
"Oh,
like
reading
that like
from this."
want to do family planning actually are
Okay, we want to hear that, the deleted one. And it looks like it plays up until, like, right here, I guess. So let's just skip through it, because I want to get to the H3H3 stuff.
Do I think the Duggars are racist? Probably.
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
Help. And there are situations where
I had to rewind that one a little bit.
babies...
I would too. Lauren, that was one of my main pieces of advice. Shut off the damn live chat or don't look. Like, it's so easy not to look at the live chat. And now, if you're going to stare at yourself the whole time you talk, then it might not be easy. Because when you look at yourself, the live chat's like right there. But if you're looking at the camera instead of looking at yourself, you're supposed to look at the camera. Like I'm doing right now. Look at the camera. If you do that, then you don't see the chat. Like, I can't see, like, my chat is right here. My camera's like right there, and I can't even see what the chat says looking at the camera. And I do think that was one of my pieces of advice to her long ago. But, you know, that's all history. I just kind of want to know. I just want to understand what she was freaking out about. that caused all of this kind of uproar, because the anti-KJ community has been, I don't know, I guess dead for a while, you know? And hold on, I want to be able to see my Discord better here. All right, there we go. Oh, let me tell the peeps in Discord here. I can see what you write in this room, so if you want to tell me anything, hit me up here. Memes and opinions and all. Let me get that out there. Okay. But the anti-KJ, what I was trying to say is that the anti-KJ community's been kind of dead for a while. Though there are still people out there who kind of like to check in on whether they're waiting on the next big explosion. And I think Katie has made a actual conscious decision to not have that happen. Is it going to stay that way? Who knows?
So there's situations where moms,
Yes, I had to edit out that word a lot.
they're also massive white supporters. So
Who is this? Janet being Janet. I am thankful that you edited out those words. That's actually a good thing.
they
I'm not
don't
even
want
playing.
anyone to have equal rights because in the Bible,
She's talking about the Duggars, right? She's talking about the Duggars? I think so.
the only rights are the men. And in their world, the only worthwhile people that have rights are white men.
Okay, what are you talking about? Does she even know about the Bible? Like when the Bible was written and all that? So the only people who... where does it say that? Can anybody point me to where it says that the only people that have worth in the Bible are white men? Can anybody point me to what passage that is? I have never heard anyone say that until now. You know, I think this is why she gets a lot of pushback, a lot of misinformation, or a lot of like, if you do have that thought process, maybe you would, you know, explain a little bit, pull the passage, pull the place you're pulling it from. Actually, I want to know. KJ was talking of the group, not the actual Bible. So she's talking about their Bible. She's talking about the Duggars' specific religion's belief system. Because I don't even know if I believe that about the Duggars' belief. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kathy says, when I tweeted for New Year's that I gave up cults, half of the anti-KJ community suddenly wanted to follow me. Oh, damn. And Trio says, admit I dropped the ball on chat sometimes. I definitely effed up yesterday. It was chilly and a chill Sunday. It happens, buddy. It happens. You gotta, you know, when you start live streaming, you gotta get used to just splitting your attention between a whole bunch of stuff, right? You got to be able to do leveling of your audio, switching songs, pulling up videos, keeping on track with what you're talking about. It's really just a lot of multitasking. I mean, live streaming as a single entity, if you're going to have zoom ins and zoom outs and things. Oh, BCP, what are you doing to me now? No way. Did you just rickroll me with a telephone? I think BCP just rickrolled me with a telephone. Hold on, let's hear it. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna roll around and hurt you. You rickrolled me with a telephone. BCP! Busy, get your crack pipe in line. Get your crack pipe. If it's not a butt dog, he's rickrolling me with inanimate objects.
If you...
Janie says, the reason that the people of the Bible were not white, but more Asian and Arabic and stuff. Okay, exactly. Exactly. So for her to say that the Bible somehow favors, That's what kind of shocked me about Katie saying this. That's why I was like, have you ever read that shit? You've never read it. You did, yes. April, Trio does really good. Trio doubts himself too much, right? I try to tell him all the time, throw away all your doubts. Throw away any insecurity you have and just push, man. Just go. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it all go. Be as silly as you want. Be as you as... I literally argue with a crackhead piece of bread when I stream. If I can do that and get some type of viewership, Trio, you're golden. You're golden.
Really sensitive.
If anybody's like, I want to see something dumber than you, Trio, you're not dumb enough. Just say, go to watch UNIRock. You know, I handle the dumbest of the live stream.
About something. Try to remember that what I'm talking about is not about you. If something makes you feel like you're defensive, try to take your own personal experience out of this. This has nothing to do with you unless you...
See, Katie, it doesn't work like that. And maybe that's... You can't just say to a group of people, like, I'm going to say things, and if you don't like what I say, then just remember that because I'm not talking directly about you, you can't have an opinion on what I'm saying. I don't think that works.
You are literally in this cult. It's not about you. It's about the cult. We're trying to expose the cult, and it's not a characterization of other people that are outside of the cult.
Yeah, but it too often when you do expose this cult, a lot of times you'll apply like some type of I'd say overarching characterization to everybody in the group. Let's say you're a kid and you're born into this family and this religion. It doesn't mean that you are racist or prejudiced or any of that. Honestly, it really doesn't. There'll be people who just don't agree with certain parts of something that they're tied to because of family or whatever. Now, also saying that they are racist or prejudiced, which you just stated, I think maybe you should back that up in some way. It's kind of a bad label to put on somebody, especially this day and age. It seems very cancel-y. And do you really want to cancel people because they're in a cult? Well, see, I know what I'm doing with this because I've exposed a cult of lobsters in my time. And you don't just throw them into a pot of boiling water. You know what I'm saying? You try to let them know why they're lobsters and what they can do to not be a lobster. And I think that could be the difference between cancel culture and not, but cloaked in a lobster analogy.
Hope that helps. I comment on for this one, and I will. How do I unwind from this? Well, I took a week off. Today was the first day that I actually did some work. Do I think the Duggars are racist? Probably. Inherently.
Inherently? Really? Really? You're saying everyone in that family gets that stamp on them regardless of how they feel or what they think? I don't know if I like that.
Yes.
Okay, I need a palate cleanser. I really do want to hear what made her delete this Insta, but we're going to sprinkle it through this live stream because I am playing some video games tonight, and I can already tell because I've been live for like 40 minutes and I feel like I just hit the button. No, Trio, you're great, buddy. You're great. You got a great personality. Everybody loves you, man. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Hopefully you'll listen to. I know it's not easy, but that's what I got to say to you. Okay, here's first things first. I want to look at Ethan Klein's Twitter, and then I'm going to show you what's up. At least to some extent. Let's see here. All right, we'll go to thank goodness H3H3 is out there saving the world from dangerous people at Jordan Peterson. And it's because Ethan said this. Now, this is going to be kind of an introduction into the issue that I'm trying to understand so that I can get an opinion up on it. Ethan says, years ago, I interviewed Jordan Peterson before I was very familiar with his politics. He was an interesting guest who I enjoyed sitting with, but especially for now, I can see that he's a dangerous gateway to the alt-right. Transphobia, Code and Sympho. I removed both interviews today. So he literally went into the H3 podcast and took where he sat down and talked to Jordan Peterson and removed it, because he says that when Jordan Peterson gives his opinions from back then, now, when you listen to it now, or even back then, it's a gateway to the alt-right. Something that's happened with Ethan, after he basically exploded on YouTube, just massive. I mean, he was the king of commentary for a while there. No, I mean it. He really was. Some of his older videos are just super funny, super just aware. He went against BuzzFeed. He was going against, you know, people just blanket labeling people, you know, racist and homophobic and all of that. And he dropped N-bombs just like iDubbbz did. And that's how kind of anti. Now, iDubbbz's point, Ethan's point is, just because somebody says a word, it doesn't mean that you can just label them as something. And you know that I agree with that sentiment. Though now that things have changed and things have shifted in society, something has been affecting Ethan Klein to where now he's extremely left-leaning, which I don't care. I'll still watch you. You think I care? I'm that type of person where I consider myself apolitical. I hold my own opinions about each individual issue, and people want to group me either as like a conservative or a libertarian or whatever it is because of the fact of what my opinions are on each specific issue. But in reality, do I prescribe to being a conservative, to a libertarian, or to anything really? I don't, because I never, like when you go into, people ask you like, what's your favorite subject from school, or what subject did you not like? When it comes to politics, I literally don't care. I don't even want to discuss it. And part of it's because like of the weight there when it comes to discussing politics is literally somebody saying, how should we run massive groups of people? And really all I care to say is about politics is we should have freedom, and we should have the least interference as humanly possible, the least thing dictated over us. And the reason I believe that is probably different than what you think. It's not because I hate the government or something, because, you know, once our society grows, you have to have a governing system. But it's because I think that when you give an organization at all, any organization, the ability to have a power that really could, like let's talk about, you know, the military, right? And I was in the military. I deployed. I got injured. I was medically evacuated. And I still, though, think that when you have those types of systems, you have to make sure that system, the military, is not able to be corrupt and not able to be corrupted and dictated. And that's why we split the responsibility to a group of people. The idea is if you have a group of people making decisions, and that way one person can't come in and selfishly make like some deal where they can send the military into France. And if you do that, then you'll make $1 billion. And you know what I'm saying? If you have like 1,000 people, there's going to be people, that's the greater chance that someone's going to turn down the deal. Like, okay, I'm going to pay one person to send the military into France. You probably have a greater chance of them accepting it and then getting no pushback to make it happen. Okay, fine. You got a group of 10 people. Maybe they'll all take the $1 billion. Maybe one of them will stand up and say no, and then you can't do it. If you have a group of 100 or 1,000, it just makes it less likely for the ability of corruption to work in, because there's checks and balances. And that's essentially why our government's split like it is, as you learn in school. And I hate politics and government, so I'm going to shut up. But that's my point. I just believe that I don't have the capacity or the understanding or the study to be able to offer you any type of great opinion when it comes to politics as a whole. Individual subjects, yeah, sure, I could. But the point I'm making, whatever you lean, wherever you go, I don't know how Ethan used to be how he was and believe in the things that I watched with my own eyes and that I heard him say that I like took from his videos. How do you change so much just because of the fact that you blew up and got really big and now you run a podcast, other than the fact that he has been meeting a lot of celebrities. He's been just talking. He's got a lot of money now, and he's talking to a lot of probably other people. He's kind of went up in society. And this does tend to happen to people when they move up that ladder in society. Sometimes they will switch what they think. So I don't know if he forgets where he came from, if he forgets how it was. And I'm sure he would probably deny the fact that he has changed so much. Really, maybe we just didn't know him. Maybe he just lied to us. I'm not sure. Anyway, though, the point is he's saying this about Jordan Peterson. And there's a lot of people that feel this way about Jordan Peterson. Myself, on the other hand, I haven't seen anybody who's made a video or made a criticism where they can take what Jordan Peterson is saying and then convince me that he is these things. I haven't seen it. Does it exist out there? If you know of it, let me know so I can watch the video. Maybe we'll watch it live. I don't know. But I do know that he holds opinions that he defends with logic, reason, common sense sources that people don't like. So again, that kind of makes sense. If Ethan, when he started his podcast, back when he did interview Jordan Peterson, if he was on a different side when it comes to politics, if he just had different points of view, maybe that's why he was open to interview Jordan. He describes it as, he was an interesting guest I enjoyed sitting with, but that was before I was familiar with his politics. That's a lie. You literally sat and listened to him espouse his opinions on your podcast, and you responded to those. You took it in. You knew who he was. You know what he says, and that's just crazy. So then I said to myself, let's get back to this. Let's get off the rant, because I'm going to rant a lot when I'm live. You know this. Let's get off the rant and let's get back to this. He, after saying this, though, made some other posts and tried to provide a little evidence to back up his point. And that's what I'm going to show you, because I think his evidence is bunk. You're going to tell me, though, maybe you can change my mind. Maybe we'll agree with old Ethan. This is my problem, Jordan. You asked for specific reasons. I provided them. Instead of acknowledging my response, you retracted further into a bubble of flatterers and devotees. What are you talking about? This where did this happen? We're going to find out. We're going to look really soon, because I did look before the stream too. And I know there's a link. We're going to go to Jordan and see. Hold on. Let me actually open Jordan's stuff really quick. Not in that tab. I hate how Twitter works so much. It's so bad for live streaming. I'm not even playing. It is so fucking bad. Okay, right here. Jordan Peterson. And right there, we've got an article. And we want to be on Jordan Peterson's. We're there now. Good. Okay, back to it. So they linked the post-millennial. Jordan's linking the post-millennial. This is his response, right? That he retracts further into a bubble of flatterers and devotees. I would say that's what you've done, in my opinion, Ethan. I mean, you go and you chill with Hassan, and you sit around with people that believe what you believe, and you kind of just fluff each other. You just kind of back each other up. But maybe Jordan's doing that. We'll find out, I suppose. Talking of how you schooled me on cancel culture, you didn't school me, Jordan. Your room is as messy as your mind. Now, this is where things get funny. Do you think that Ethan grabs a thing that Jordan said and then provides a counter to it? Do you think he actually gets the argument and highlights it, brings it into the thread, and shows us how he wasn't schooled? Shows us how, you know, Ethan is right and Jordan's wrong. Well, let me show you what he says here. So he shows a picture of Jordan sitting here, and he says his room is messy. Is it really? So you got a desk right here that has normal stuff on it, and then has some papers here, and this is supposed to be there. But over here, you've got some boxes and some stuff. But if you look at the rest of the room, it's clean, right? Now I'm showing you this for a reason. So hold up. So he's in a small room. He's got some boxes and stuff laid around. But other than that, it's a pretty clean room if you look at it. Looks like he got some new stuff in here that he hadn't hung up yet or worked, right? So that's what he shows. Now, Ethan says, and Jordan, regarding cancel culture, the only thing that's ever guided me is my own moral compass. Everything else is just noise. The mob is free to cancel me as it will. They have plenty of time. And I think that's where he's done. Okay, so let's go back here. Actually, canceling, as you call it, sometimes this is what pissed me off. I do not like this tweet. This tweet and this thing happening, along with a few other things Ethan's done, has driven me away from Ethan. And I liked watching his podcast. I know you guys are going to cancel me. Just kidding. But personally, you may cancel me. You might not want to watch me anymore because I used to watch Ethan's podcast. I didn't watch it all the time, but if I didn't have anything to watch and I'm just chilling, I'd throw it on. Along with Joe Rogan. You guys know I like to watch Joe Rogan. I used to watch Joe Rogan on this stream. Joe Rogan would never strike me, but he would claim my live stream if I watched his show. So when I noticed that they were claiming my stream whenever I watched Joe Rogan in here, while I would play a video game and watch Joe Rogan, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to keep doing it until they strike me or until they like email me or something. And then I ended up streaming Joe Rogan in here while I played video games all the time because they never got mad about it. I'm not saying that's a good thing to do or nothing, but, you know, if they're going to copyright claim me, then they're saying to me like, hey, we're taking the ad revenue for this. So what's like, why do they care if they're making money off me doing it, then why do they care, right? Okay. And actually canceling, as you call it, this is the one that got me. Sometimes is a good experience, as painful as it is. The times I've received the most flack on things I've said are the times I've learned the most about myself and the world. This just isn't true. What are you talking about? And how to be more mindful and caring of others. For one, I'm all down for being mindful and caring of others, but do you want to be mindful and caring of a hateful person? You're not going to go out and target them. You're not going to go out and hate them, but do you want to be mindful and caring of a hateful person? Okay, I'll respect people, but respect is a thing that goes both ways, and it's something that you earn and all that cringy stuff. I'm not going to respect a hateful person. I'm not going to like them. I'm also not going to be, mindful and caring of them. That's the point. So if you think that a person or a group of people are homophobic, right? Ethan was saying, or I'm sorry, what did he say? He said they were transphobic, right? So basically you're saying that they hate somebody because of their, the way they carry themselves. That they hate them. They're scared of them. They're against them. They're phobic of them, right? Well, like I am spiderophobic. I'm actually not, but I hate spiders. I guess, yeah, I'm not afraid of them. I just hate them. But either way, I hate spiders. Does that mean that I want to kill spiders? No, but I don't want to hang out with them. Maybe I'm just not hateful, but there are people that are hateful. They don't like other people. Do I give two flying Fs, because I'm trying to stop cursing here, what they want me to do, how they want me to talk, how they, by definition, do not care about a group of people based on how they live their life, not how they treat others, but how they carry themselves. And something that they can't help, something that is part of their life, they are hated for. Okay, like racist, someone that's racist. Not it's that you hate the person because of the color of their skin. I don't care what they think if they're racist, because they don't care what an extremely large group of people feel or think themselves. They're not mindful. It just doesn't make sense. This is why I don't get it. So my point is, when someone out there is so bad, like Ethan's acting like, if you got to take down Jordan Peterson, you're not calling him alt-right, but you're saying he's a gateway to the alt-right, and you got to remove your podcast with him, and you've got to disassociate with him, and then you go on the offensive trying to attack him and all this, showing pictures of his messy room and all that garbage. Why do you care about his fans? Why do you care about him? And if you're going to say that he obviously doesn't care. Well, what's all this garbage then? What's all this? Right? But to say that canceling is good, this doesn't really stack, because there's a difference between pulling support from somebody where, I don't know if Ethan would have just removed the podcasts and then not attack Jordan. Maybe that wouldn't be canceling. Maybe that's just disassociating. The way I look at canceling compared to not supporting something is when you cancel somebody, you're trying to mischaracterize or overblow something, or try to incite others to stop following them. When you go in to criticize, when you go in to pull your support, you're not honest, you're not straightforward, you're just going in basically to try to inspire others to cancel. There has to be that characterization of dishonest. You have to be dishonest in some way in order to attain the canceling moniker, to gain canceling to your set of superpowers, if you get my drift. Because if not, then you're just criticizing, you're just pulling support, you just don't agree with them. So you've got normal disassociation, you got normal not liking them, then you've got canceling. Two separate things, right? Then he says it's not always a call for defensiveness and shrinking. In fact, I think Ethan's not even thinking, because I don't know what shrinking means, but there is actually growth to be had. I'll speak to people I trust that challenge me. You, on the other hand, surround yourself with yes men, and growth is human. Actually, you're literally admitting that you surround yourself with yes men. You're saying that you surround yourself with people that you trust, that challenge you. So why did you stop trusting Jordan Peterson? Because he was someone you surrounded yourself with that you disagree with. Let's find out. Let's go a little deeper. Okay. So he says to start, now first you got to know what conversion therapy is. When I first read this, I had to look it up because I couldn't remember, is conversion therapy when you're converting from one thing to another, being trans or something, or is it where they try to stop you? Conversion therapy is where they do like shock therapy or crazy things or something, or they counsel you in a very strict way so that you don't be trans or you don't be gay. So it's been banned in Canada, all right? Now, Ethan says to start, you called a ban on conversion therapy moral grandstanding 6 days ago. Now, when I read this, I said, he didn't call the ban moral grandstanding. He didn't call the ban that. He was talking about Justin Trudeau talking about it as moral grand. How in the world are you going to classify conversion therapy as moral grandstanding? It's literally a mischaracterization to say that he called a ban moral grandstanding, but maybe he did. I could be reading it wrong. I might have you tell me. So here's what was said. Let's see if you agree or disagree. So Jordan said, well, let's start with Justin Trudeau. As of today, it's official. Conversion therapy is banned in Canada. Our government's legislations come to force, which means it's illegal to promote, advertise, benefit, or subject somebody to this hateful and harmful practice. LGBTQ2 rights are human rights. Did he mistype something? Why is there a 2? Are human rights. I've just never seen the 2 there before. So when I read this, I don't know what OM means, or juvenile, our juvenile OM. Is that like your minister or whatever? What's his title? I forget. Anyway, conversion therapy, more moral grandstanding from our juvenile president. I guess Justin Trudeau is like the president of Canada or something. You got to tell me in the comments. Menace will tell me. Now, I didn't see this as... So basically what you would be saying, if you consider banning conversion therapy as moral grandstanding, then I would say you would be for conversion therapy. You're mad that conversion therapy got banned. But I don't think that he is for conversion therapy. I don't think Jordan Peterson is. I've heard him talk about things like this. I thought that I heard Jordan Peterson say the opposite. So there's one problem in this situation, right? When I read this, now if I found out that Jordan Peterson was okay with people. And let me give you a definition. Conversion therapy type definition, I guess. It is a pseudoscientific practice of attempting to change an individual's orientation from homosexual or bisexual to hetero. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. Doesn't have to be shock therapy, but you get me. So anyway. What are you up to, Ethan? We had a good conversation. I enjoyed meeting you and talking with you. What I have said precisely that motivated your actions and your accusations, deleting our discussion, an honest question. This is what bothers me. So it's almost like Ethan just kind of went on the offense, you know? He went on the offense because Jordan asked, I think, pretty legitimately, and now let's go over to him so that I don't lose track of where I'm at over there. And let's see if I can find where he first started talking with H3. It might be under his tweets and replies. So let me see when this was. January 14th. So that's like 3 days ago. Okay, so Jordan Peterson seems to tweet. Oh, wait, nope. January 13th. I just saw 13th. It's January 16th, 15th. Let's find it here, damn it. This is why I hate Twitter so much. It's so hard to go through the damn thing. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's try. Let me try to open it in a new tab. All right, damn it. Replying to him. I don't know why I can't see the whole conversation. It looks like H3. Let's just read this. Then he says, finally, you may consider providing me with footage so I can post it, given that I agreed to appear on your show based on an agreement that there would, in fact, be a show. Also, I should warn you that those who engage in cancel culture generally live to regret it. I'm not going to come after you, except politely, in this Twitter stream, but the chickens will definitely come to roost. You'll be held to a higher and higher and soon impossible to maintain ethical standard by the very mob you currently wish to please. Then you will make a mistake, and they will devour you. With glee. Please take this warning seriously. I liked you. So, this is, in my opinion, true. This is true. They will devour you. They will want you to hold to a higher and higher and higher standard. You give in the first time, they'll never stop. And then they'll use you giving in before as the excuse to motivate you to keep giving in. This is just factual. This happens. This is on point. So I'd like to be able to see what Ethan said, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to. So I guess we can start here, I guess. So at some point, it looks like Ethan replied and said, using the wrong pronouns would need to be considered in totality with other actions for it to constitute a hate crime, basically like any other crime. What is he? Who's he saying this to? Well, now we can see. Now we can see it. This is why I hate Twitter. This is why I hate Twitter. To start, you called a ban on conversion and moral grandstanding 6 days ago. And I just think he's completely mischaracterizing this tweet, but maybe he's not. Maybe I'm wrong. You believe in enforced monogamy from New York Times interview. So it says, violent attacks are what happens when men do not have partners, Mr. Peterson says. And society needs to work to make sure those men are married. He was angry at God because women were rejecting him, Mr. Peterson says, the Toronto killer. He's talking about a specific person. Peterson does not pause when he says this. Enforced monogamy is to him simply a rational solution. Enforced women will all go for the most high status men, he explains, and that couldn't make either gender happy in the end. So you're just literally talking philosophy or opinion with them there, but okay, good point, I guess. I don't think you should force people to get married. I just didn't think Jordan Peterson did either. See, it sounds a little extreme, right? Your mischaracterization of Bill C-16 resulted in a surge of transphobia. The bill was created to add trans people as a protected group against hate crimes. Using the wrong pronoun would not result in anyone going to jail. In fact, to this day, 0 people have gone to jail. Using the wrong pronoun would need to be considered in totality with other actions for it to constitute a hate crime. So you just admit that it's true. So this could be considered part of it happening. So how is Jordan wrong? Right? If you're literally admitting in the next tweet, using it would need to be considered in totality with other actions, it still means it's considered. So why can't he criticize it or state how he feels about it? And I'm not saying I agree with them or I don't agree with them. I'm just trying to figure out why these things, how does this doesn't even make sense to me. You know, why not get a hold of Jordan, talk to him about it, and say, what's going on with this New York Times? Do you believe in forcing people to get married? What's going on here? Why do you think that using wrong pronouns would be mixed in with this bill, or not mixed in, or make someone go to jail? But then again, Ethan, I do think that if it is added in to the totality of the judgment, that it's part of the judgment. Though Ethan does continue, so he may give us a little more information. As a person, I found you amicable in our conversation, very interesting and insightful, but I'm just not comfortable being a part of a pipeline leading to takes like this. Now, this is what gets me. This is what gets me. He uses these two things. So he's only made 2 points. 1 point, the forced marriage thing, I truly believe myself, and you can correct me in the chat, that he was talking about a specific scenario. I don't think at any time have I ever heard, and I've listened to a little bit of what he's had to say, Peterson state that he was going to be down for forced marriage, but also in the same aspect, I don't remember him, I do remember him stating this thing about the pronouns, and I remember a big to-do about it, but I don't remember the details. It's been so long ago. But this is just wrong. He says, now, Trudeau basically says, if you're shopping for Christmas, make sure you get a booster. And he says, up yours, you'd have to kill me first. And while I don't think that basically that's a good take, if that's how he feels, I don't see why his opinion on whether he is, I don't want to use a certain word, jabbed or not, whether he is jabbed or not, I don't think that should factor into you taking down his podcast or canceling him. That's for sure. So are we saying that you're not allowed to post how you feel about the jab? Or so, like, because what? He has a check mark. He can't say, I don't want to get that, or I do want to get that, right? I am for people being able to post these things. Also, I am not going to support Ethan Klein if just because Jordan gives an opinion on something, he comes in to cancel him outright due to this. But then this one is just crazy. So they said, CNN guest calls on Spotify to place warnings on Joe Rogan's podcast. And obviously, he's putting scientists in quotes to say these people aren't scientists, or, you know, to mock them, basically putting down the fact that they're going to put warnings on Joe Rogan's podcast. Now, here's the deal. I think it is disgusting to put warnings on Joe Rogan's podcast myself. I think that's just ridiculous and disgusting. That's my opinion. But how in the world is this going to, maybe you will not agree with me when it comes to this one. Maybe you think that because Jordan Peterson has people that follow him, he shouldn't post how he feels about the jab. That's your opinion. But how in the world are we going to say that he can't express his opinion on this fact? You're literally saying if you go on your show, Ethan, then you're going to have to not speak your opinion when it comes to the jab afterwards, or your show's going to get taken down and you're going to have a big to-do about canceling him. And then on the other side of it, if you mock people for censoring Joe Rogan, or if you put him down for trying to do, you know, these scientists, you're basically saying that Jordan can't express his own opinion there. That's my take. And I think, though, that's it. Oh, okay, so years ago I entered, so this is the main tweet right here. This is like the first one, I believe. Yeah, because I checked below and I didn't see anything else. So I think we're at the bottom of the engagement. Let's see what someone else says. The problem is I see it that listening to Ethan Klein is a gateway to taking pills that make your penis stop working. So when are you going to address that? Remember, people, there's more to life than fame and money.
You know, I have mental illness problems too. Like that never. She doesn't seem to really give any credence to that. Like I have depression. I'm medicated for that shit. 20 milligrams Lexapro every fucking day. My dick feels like a piece of wood. Like I have no sensation in my penis.
What? What?
Side effect. And I'm fat, by the way. Also a side effect. You know.
Whoa.
I have Tourette's, by the way. Something that she continues to tokenize, which always makes me uncomfortable. I always ask her to stop doing that. Insisting that everything I do is, oh, that's Tourette's, that's Tourette's. I don't like it. And I tell her that every time. And she keeps doing it. So, like, you know, it's just not fair. Like, you know, I have mental illness problems too.
I get it. I get your point. So he feels like, you know, he's going to give Ethan a little shit there. Because, you know, too much TMI. JP is a gateway to cleaning your room, making a 5-year plan, and repairing your relationship with your father. His advice in your podcast with him, which focused on bettering your life, is truly dangerous stuff. How soon until your new zeitgeist determines whether humongous is too dangerous? Cry more. It's his choice to put what he wants on his channel, Mr. Freedom of Speech. You should be all for this. What are you talking about? What? I think his point is that the podcast with Jordan Peterson was about bettering your life mostly. So why is that bad? I think he was trying to get Ethan to maybe explore what about the podcasts themselves were bad or took people to the alt-right. But okay. Jordan was an inspiration at the time, even though he had some bad ideas already. I remember that when the first interview came out, I was interested and even read his book. It did help me, to be honest, and I'm very disappointed to see his takes today. What takes? His takes? What in the hell? This is why I don't care. I don't have any desire to fall in line and to work my ass off or something else, you know, to do anything more than do creative things, to push myself further than, you know, a lot of times I want to make sure that I don't just put something out for the sake of putting something out. And that I, you know, a lot of times I've stepped away, and like when I stepped away from my main channel when it was doing really good. It was making like, I don't want to tell you how much it was making a month then, but it was making good money every month. The views were massive when I went to UNIRock 2 and started live streaming instead of uploading. One of the main things that I think prevents me from trying to return to that lifestyle where uploading 3 to 5 times a day, constantly posting stuff, you know, and now I post things that are creative. Like I have to have an inspiration, a creativity behind what I post, or I'm just going to go live stream, chill with you, and give you my opinion on things. And honestly, it just, you see that everybody who grows in some way, even on YouTube now, it's now judged in the way that television was. Sometimes you'd see that happening with television back in the day. Somebody would be a celebrity, they'd be out there, they'd say something people didn't like, they'd get canceled, they wouldn't get any more roles, they'd just be gone, and you're like, where did that actor go? Nowadays, YouTube's like the new TV, YouTube's the new celebrity place, and you see just normal people end up, like Ethan Klein, you know, being that entity that we used to only see on television. Anyway, just to kind of sum it up before we move on to the next point, which ironically includes Ethan Klein. Do I think Ethan should be able to take down his podcast with Jordan Peterson? Well, of course. I'm not saying he can't do it. And that's why I think it's just dumb to run in with his little, like, this free speech thing or whatever. People are trying to tell Ethan that he's wrong when it comes to basically saying that if a person says a couple things you don't agree with now, all of a sudden, you just want to cancel them for everything. It's like one of those things where, I don't know if I could find an example at this moment that I care to reach to, but if I use the example of, you know, censoring a Dr. Seuss book and then making it to where nobody can see it again, taking it completely out of the line due to the fact that, you know, people say that one book's racist or bad or something. I disagree. I think that you should tell people why it was bad, why, since it was made at that time. I don't think you should take things from history and just completely cancel them out. And I know that this is a really short history. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe like cancel culture's now taking things to where somebody like for 4 or 5 years ago said something that you liked and you talked to him and that's cool. Now it's like I'm gonna erase his podcast with me where he talks about living a better life, being honest and giving advice, because he's got some things I don't like him that he said about this, that, or this. I just don't like it. And for Ethan Klein to do it, I think it kind of falls in line with what I'm about to show you from Ethan Klein. I didn't even know Ethan made a new channel. I didn't even know he was posting a lot. And then I clicked on a link that he shared on Twitter and found this. And honestly, after watching this, I kind of understand why he took down the podcast, okay? Now, I don't know if he's just going to be kissing Pokimane's butt so that he can get Pokimane to come hang with them or something. I don't know if he's trying to suck up to her because she's a big Twitch streamer. Or I don't know if he really means what he's saying. Is this some meta joke from him? I doubt it. I think he's being dead serious. It's just the Ethan Klein I used to watch wouldn't have made the video that you're about to see, because this video is dumb. But I'll explain why when I react to it, and I'm going to actually record this reaction. So give me a minute to get set up, because I want to grab some clips while I do this in case I want to put them in my video here. But let me see. Yep, that's the one I'm using. Check, check. All right. All right. I'm going to record us reacting to this. So let me get prepped up and let me get going. Okay. Kelly, I completely agree. We learned from history, not cancellation. The video that H3 did with Jordan Peterson, I actually watched that podcast. I thought it was good. I liked the things they were talking about. I liked the interaction. I liked what they were saying. And I think it's weird. I think it's weird that he's doing this. But what I'm about to show you, I think will kind of open your eyes. So let's go ahead and get started here. Okay. So here's what Ethan Klein had to say on his new channel, H3TV, about misogyny in gaming and Pokimane.
Which, you know, many of you may know. Welcome back to another video. Last night, there was a controversy I noticed with a popular streamer named Pokimane, which, you know, many of you may know. She's one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. And throughout her whole time on...
I'm sure that's really important to this conversation. Like, I'm being dead serious.
Her whole professional career, there's been an insane amount of hate leveled towards her.
Well, let me go ahead and tell you some things I remember happening that Pokimane did. I remember she filed false strikes against It's a Gundam, literally... for what I remember to be no reason. I even think she responded to him and fixed it, but I'm not sure. I know that Leafy made fun of her a couple times and got completely banned off the platform in the most surprising banning I've seen when he came back. He was gone from his YouTube channel for like 2 years or 3 years or something. He comes back, makes some videos, is doing really good, criticizes Pokimane, and just gets completely nuked, which was strange. I don't think it was for no reason. I don't think that she gets hate for no reason. I think she gets criticism. Does she get some people that kind of give her shit all the time? Sure. But it just, that's really overly throwing that label out there, right?
And it's kind of weird, the amount of hate she gets. It doesn't really it doesn't really make sense. A lot of it seems to stem, in my opinion, from dudes who are jealous of her success and attribute it to, you know, her being a woman.
So you're saying that she gets hate because she's a female. You know how many female Twitch streamers there are? You know how much hate people get for just no reason? Like, this is a horrible take already. What are you talking about, man? Like, be specific.
And, oh, she's on easy mode. I think there's a lot of incels and reactionary Gamergate dudes in gaming, and it manifests itself in that way.
I gotta pause the music for a second. You think there's a lot of incels and Gamergate dudes in gaming, and because gamers are such incels and such Gamergate guys that they give so basically Pokimane's perfect. She can't be criticized, and it has to be what you just said, okay?
But in truth, there are large creators who capitalize on that movement of misogyny to basically augment their own fan base, to grow their fan base, and then they try to pretend like they don't know what they're doing.
Have you lost your mind, Ethan? Have you lost your mind? If this is happening, then why not actually grab a clip? If they're a large creator, you should be able to just go to their channel, grab the clip of them doing this, and show it to us so that we can make up our own mind. Because what you're saying right now does not stack. It doesn't stack. Where? When? Why? How? Who?
There was a huge crap storm, trying to keep it PG, thank you.
Me too, thanks.
Last night. I want to take you guys through it. So basically what happened, so there's a streamer named Dijon.
Me too, thanks, fuck you.
Who was harassing her yesterday.
Okay, so he's going to show us a Twitch streamer that was harassing Pokimane.
There's a specific rule.
Harassing, okay?
On Twitch platform where you can't send people to another person's chat to leave mean comments. It's called a hate raid.
Yeah.
And, you know,
it's like that on YouTube too.
Because it's a live platform, they have to be very particular about how harassment, how they control harassment. And this is a rule that everybody's familiar with. And it's pretty obvious that he knows and everyone knows that he is breaking a rule of Twitch. He was banned for 14 days. What happens is that Keemstar and people like him and all these reactionary commentary communities start to spin it, right, in a way.
Okay, they start to spin it. So you're going to show us him inciting his people to go attack her, literally telling them to go do this, right? You're not, like, we need to, I haven't seen the clip where he does this, so.
Way that makes Pokimane look bad, and they found a way to blame her. Now, she was minding her own business. She was doing nothing, okay?
But that doesn't matter. Just because she's minding her own business doesn't mean that he can't criticize her or talk about her. She's one of the biggest streamers. That means that she will get targeted with criticism. If she gets harassed, then okay, fine, do something, but you need to at least show us.
And they found a way to blame her for this guy getting banned. And this is kind of the stuff that she's always had to deal with. So here's Keemstar basically taking point on this one here. I'll show you how he does it. He said, so Dijon got...
I'm sure H3, by the way, is going to show us him doing both things. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've only watched, like, I think you can see where I watched it up to.
Twitch banned for 2 weeks, telling Pokimane fans she has a boyfriend. Should he have been banned? Okay. I'll play this clip, but basically you should know he was not banned for what he said in this clip. He was banned for telling his chat to go.
As long as you show me him telling his chat to do that, I'll believe you. Because I know that Twitch does this. Twitch does do this. They'll ban somebody just for shitting on... Literally, they banned Leafy. When you won't be able to show me any clip that Leafy should have been banned for involving her, so... Darth Chaz says, enforced monogamy is societal. Can you see it in action by the way people react to cheaters? Well, you know, Darth, that's what I think happened in that clip based on what I've seen him say. That's what I, in fact, I'm going to pause my recording. That's what I think happened. I think Ethan took something he was saying and took it out of context. Because Ethan's trying to make it sound like Jordan Peterson's rallying for forced marriage. And I've never heard him... In fact, I've heard him say many things that would lead me to believe he didn't rally, that he doesn't believe in that. Is it possible? Could he be telling the truth? Could Ethan be telling the truth? You know, maybe. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it myself. I'd want to actually see context to what he was actually saying to know if that was what was happening or not. Even if he did argue for that, I don't think it would take away from other points he's made. And I don't think that all of this is just too weird. You get me? But anyway, I'm going to get back to this, though. We'll come back to that later, though.
Go to her stream and leave comments. Right. So Keemstar right off the bat lying and saying that he was banned for saying she has a boyfriend.
Whoa, 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 whoa. The only way you can say that is if you prove your piece here, because you do this too often, Ethan. The only way you're going to tell me that that Keemstar lied is if you show me the clip, because you do have a history of just bashing Keem, so.
Is playing into this misogynistic incel thing.
What do you mean by misogynistic incel thing? Even if Keem shared this, I don't think it's misogynistic just because this dude was either joking or being serious about Pokimane having a boyfriend, but...
Right, where she has... You know, Keemstar made up a rumor that she was sleeping with Twitch staff, you know, and that's the...
I'd really like you to show that, too, before I believe it, but okay.
The reason why the moderation against her is inconsistent.
You saw the clip? The J Dion? Is that what... J Dion 6? You saw it? Do you know if he actually told people to go to Pokimane's chat like Ethan's claiming? Because if he did, he did. I mean, if he gets banned for doing that for a while, okay, fine, but...
Well, the moderation against her is inconsistent because you're lying about the moderation.
No, the moderation against her and Alinity and several other of the top female streamers is definitely inconsistent. It's just been proven in the past. And that's why people are quick to make these judgments. Is this a specific scenario where the enforcement was not unfair? Possibly, but their enforcement is extremely unfair. There are many situations where this has been proven.
He wasn't banned for saying she has a boyfriend. That's insane. And actually, you know that, which is why it's so weird.
How do you know he knows that? We don't even know that yet. You haven't even shown us.
That you choose this misogynistic path for yourself.
This is what bothers me. Do you hear it? It immediately just goes to misogyny. Immediately. And I want to give you a definition here because I think it's used wrong and it's overused. Dislike or contempt or ingrained prejudice against women. So you're stating that they're doing this out of a hatred or a dislike for women or a prejudice against women. So it's something to the effect of, let me give an example. If you were to say that Pokimane deserves to be attacked because she's a woman, of course, misogynistic. But just because your criticism involves her being a woman, it doesn't mean that it's misogynistic. Okay? There has to be a discontent. There has to be a slight. There's got to be a putting down of, right?
I think he's just pandering to the...
Ronnie says he was saying gaming dudes who give her money are just dreaming about getting with her. I know, we're about to hear the clip. And I do think that it matters if he's joking. It matters if... He could have been being misogynistic, but I don't even think you get banned for being misogynistic or acting misogynistic. You got to break a rule to get banned, right? So, yeah, you get me.
The audience that he knows doesn't like Pokey because she's a successful woman. Here he is.
There it is again. The audience he knows doesn't like Pokimane because she's a successful woman? What?
From Pokimane, if you're from Pokimane's chat, yo, and you have a penis, I'm gonna tell you this right now. She is not gonna fuck you, bro.
Now, one thing here is, if you don't know, back when Pokimane and Leafy got into it, it was because Pokimane was hiding the boyfriend that she had, the knowledge of her boyfriend from the public. And basically the people in her chat, a lot of tier 3 Pokimane subs and all that, were very upset when they found out that Pokimane had a boyfriend. So there was this big thing where when the tier 3 subs, the tier 2 subs, which tier 2 and tier 3 is where you pay $5 for tier 1, you can pay like 10 or 15 for tier 2, you can pay like 20 or 30 bucks for tier 3. You make more money off of them per month if they're a higher tier sub on Twitch. And when it came out all that time ago that Pokimane, you know what I'm saying? You remember this. So I just want to get you to that point of why he said this. I'm not defending him. I think he could be being a dick here, though I want you to have the context. Okay, let's keep going. Because I'm not completely against H3 correcting misinformation, and I'm not against H3 calling out someone if he wants to. So let's hear it.
How much you donated, I don't care how many hours you watch her, she's not gonna fuck you, bro. She has a man's. Bro, you probably don't want to hear this. You probably don't want to hear this. You probably don't want to hear this. But I'm sorry. I'm going to break the fourth wall.
Why is Pokimane up here in the corner? I still can't figure that out. I think that's his background, or it's a video he has in the background.
Spoiler alert, she's getting dicked down every night by another nigga. From Pokimane.
Okay, that's the clip.
I mean, if you're from Pokimane,
yeah, so this isn't the reason he got suspended, but I will explain.
This isn't the reason that he got suspended. You're saying this isn't the reason he got suspended. Okay, so we don't even need to consider this when it comes to his suspension. Now, of course, there are people out there that believe this is the reason that he got suspended, and that's why H3's doing this.
Now, Dijon and Keemstar be like, why is everyone saying this is misogyny? We just don't like her. We just don't like her because she's a meanie, right? That's whatever their rationale they try to make to say they don't like her. I mean, obviously, if you have a brain, you know this is misogyny. He's saying that there's no reason anybody would watch Pokimane unless they wanted to have sex with her. There's no the only people that want to watch her are because they're getting a simulated boyfriend run. She couldn't.
You think that there's not a pretty solid portion of her fan base, if you've ever seen her live chat, that are there to simp for her? Because there are. I mean, it happens to males and females, so oh well. That's just life. It just happens.
Be entertaining, interesting, smart, funny.
No, who's saying that? Who said she wasn't entertaining? She wasn't smart. She's not funny. She's not pretty. She's all those things. Who cares? Where does that come up?
No, it's only because you guys want to have sex with her. If you go a layer deeper, it's kind of a self-report, right? It's almost a reflection of themselves and why they would watch a woman creator.
No, it's a meme. It's a meme because it's actually partly true. There is a percentage of her fan base that donates a lot of money. There's this joke out there. I think it was a meme account, a dude being funny, but it was there because there are people like this that exist, where he said that he is going homeless and he's living in his car so that he can give more money to the Twitch streamer. And I think it was Pokimane. I might have even covered, this might have been in one of my iDubbbz videos. I don't remember. But you know what I'm saying? It's like a bit of a meme. It's a bit of a joke. And it's also, at the same time, a bit real. And also, could it be, is there a problem with making jokes like this? Is there a problem with this meme? I don't think so. Lona says if it's not true, then why'd she hide it? She seems to think there was a good reason to hide it. Well, that's what happened back then. Back then, I do believe that she was not telling the chat and not having the boyfriend, who I think was another popular streamer. Yeah, it was. They weren't letting them know because Pokey knows, and this is what Leafy was saying, right? No, now I'm not here to make any judgments. I'm not here to say that it's right, that it's wrong. I mean, but you do know whether it's 5% or whether it's 50%. Of course, it's not going to be that low and it's not going to be that high. There is a portion, if you just even look at the live chat, where you can see that as, that's why the joke is there. If the people in her live chat didn't say what they say and do what they do, then this joke wouldn't exist at all, right? You get me.
Because
Kirsten says it's like when gay actors hide their sexuality, they want people to want them. Well, or when a famous actress or actor hides the fact that they're either married or with somebody, or if it's like a stripper, you know, stripper takes their ring off when they go to strip, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's the case completely here. I'm just saying that I'm giving you an example that for some reason, the comedic effect of like bringing this up now triggers Ethan Klein when Ethan's claim is that this has nothing to do with the guy's ban. Now, this also is what makes Drama Alert, Keemstar, focus on this clip over the fact of him sending people to go to Pokey's chat, right? Because why is it that every time this happens, it's not just that the dude sent people over to the chat? Even if he did, we need to know if he did or not. And but it always has something to do with them, people making a meme, making a joke, or in his case, he could have been being serious, right? About this kind of topic. Remember, this is what got Leafy banned. Leafy was banned from YouTube with millions of subscribers and mostly because he was dunking on Pokimane's tier 3 subs, right?
Because they know that they're misogynists, right? They're like, why would I want to watch?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to put it, Mika. Yeah, that's a kind of a good way to put it. I'm not saying that that's the truth for Pokey completely, right? I mean, honestly, I'd love to know the percentage, wouldn't you? Wouldn't that be the most interesting percentage to know ever? What percentage of tier 3 subs would either be tier 1 subs or no sub at all for Pokimane? Or maybe not even watcher if they knew that, you know... Okay, I'm done.
A woman perform. That doesn't make any sense. And I think that's a projection of their own bias, right? So
do you defend people, Ethan, when they're a male and people are giving them shit for something about them being a male? I've never seen you do that.
it's kind of a self-report. Let's watch it again.
From Pokimane.
I don't want to watch it again, Ethan. It's weird.
I don't care.
Such an original thought, too. So hilarious. Go off, King. Nobody's ever made that joke before.
Leafy did, and he got banned. And you know it, Ethan. Leafy came at you. Leafy literally made fun of you. This is why this is so weird,
Nobody's
y'all.
ever made that observation before.
You know Leafy made that
Go off,
observation.
King. Yes.
You know. Why aren't you bringing Leafy up? Why won't you bring up Leafy?
Ask.
How many hours
Professional raw dogger. Yes. Go off.
watch her, she's not gonna fuck you.
You know, though, you know what's weird? If this dude was like, I won't go there, but you know what I'm going to say.
She has a man.
I'm sure the 12-year-olds are going crazy in your chat right now.
They are. You see, it's the chat's right there. You can see it. They're going crazy.
Bro, you probably...
Do you see how he's making the same damn joke, though? This is hypocrisy. This is the hypocrisy. Him saying, oh, I bet the 12-year-olds are going crazy in your chat, is the same fucking joke that he made. It just, you're doing it to a male, and he was doing it to a female. So the joke is tailored differently. The joke is tailored to 12-year-olds here because you're making fun of the sexuality part. You've got to be a 12-year-old if you're going to find this joke funny, because 12-year-olds, they're hitting puberty. Ha ha. I'm Ethan Klein making a joke about sexuality and making a joke about, a streamer at the same time, just like he did. Just like he did. It's just that Pokey was female, and the joke was about how the people want her. He's male, and the joke is about how you have to be 12 to find this funny. You're a hypocrite, Ethan.
I don't want to hear this. You probably don't want to hear this. You probably don't want to hear this.
No, don't
Like,
say
I'm
it,
sorry.
bro. I can't hear this. I thought we were dating. Go off. No.
You literally, do you know that back when Leafy did what he did, there was a Discord server for Pokimane. And in the Discord server, a bunch of provable Poke fans, their accounts had been in the server for a long time, got mad and started talking about how they were mad, angry, and offended that Pokey didn't tell them that she was dating somebody. So it actually, there was truth to the whole thing. There were screenshots that came out of the Discord server.
D-John telling it like it is.
He kind of is, but he's kind of making, I think he's exaggerating it to make a joke at the same time, right? Just like you did with the 12-year-old thing.
Oh.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall.
Don't break
And
the fourth
spoiler
wall.
alert, she's getting dicked down every night.
You don't know what fourth wall means.
By another nigga.
Yeah, I think he does know what the fourth wall means. Because I think he's saying, like, I'm going to tell you something that us streamers don't talk about. We all knowingly don't talk about it here on Twitch. You know? And so I do think he broke the streamer fourth wall. I think you don't get streaming. I don't think you don't understand live streaming, because Ethan will sit on a live stream and talk about how his penis doesn't work because he's taking Lexapro. That's breaking the lolcow fourth wall, Ethan. Being cringy in a lolcow way, telling these kind of truths, doing these kind of things for a streamer is breaking the fourth wall like an actor does, right? But an actor breaks it based on coming out as the actor telling the story. The streamer breaks it by coming out as the streamer talking about what's behind streaming. So he is breaking the fourth wall. He was right to make that characterization. And again, I'm not defending him, and I'm not shitting on Ethan. I'm just trying to be real about the criticism.
Oh, nobody's ever made that joke before. I want all my tier 3 subs back.
She did have tier 3 subs leave when it came out back then. You do know that, right?
I mean, come on, guys. This is obvious misogyny. This guy.
Obvious hate of women is what Ethan's saying. Obvious hatred towards women. So basically, in order to think it's misogyny and to think if Ethan's right, there's something that we have to do. It's a test that literally will expose the misogyny in this situation, and I'm being dead serious. You've got to flip the role of Pokimane. So you got to imagine that Pokimane is male and that her audience is mostly young females. And that as a male, she, you know, flaunts her body and sits there and flirts with the guy flirts with the chat and all that. And the female audience goes crazy donating and dropping tier 3 subs. So do you think people would say the same thing on Twitch? Do you think this guy would say the same thing on Twitch if instead of it being Pokimane that they were talking about, it was a male? I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that maybe you could say there's a